The word complexity gets used an awful lot, and it's often difficult to pin down exactly what it is and what it might mean for us. For example, and this needs a run-up, complexity, characterized by its labyrinthine intricacies and multifaceted interdependencies, offers a description of systems where heterogeneous, entangled entities coalesce and evolve through unpredictable nonlinear dynamics. Something like that, anyway. A much more accessible and practical metaphor to explain complexity was shared by Scott Page, the American social scientist and professor of complexity, social science and management at the University of Michigan. Imagine that you're a world-class mountain climber, and across 3 discrete sessions, your task is simply to reach the highest peak. The first session puts you in front of Mount Fuji in Japan, and standing at the base of what is effectively a triangle, the target and route are knowable in advance of the climb. That's not complexity. Session 2 puts you somewhere in the Swiss Alps. There are now many peaks, and unlike Fuji, we can't just start climbing. We must first research or already know that Dufourspitze is the goal, but once we have that, the target and route are knowable in advance of the climb. That's not complexity. Session 3, however, sorts the wheat from the chaff, and now the mountains are dancing. As a result, what we think is the highest peak may or may not be once we start climbing, and we sometimes only realise that there's a higher peak by climbing a lower one. Moreover, since the mountains are in motion, what is a summit today could drop relative to the others while we're busy doing something else, and that is complexity. This matters because in our organisations we will have all 3 of these situations. Projects and tasks we can predict and proceduralise through to those that are changeable and in motion. Spending time working out what you're facing is more likely to yield an appropriate response than the alternative, assuming that every climb, every goal and every project can be treated the same way, and thus everyone should work in the same way too.